All right, good night and welcome back to, I say good night, good day, and welcome back to Everything Mathematics. And today we're going to just do this little series on compound shape. And I'm doing this hopefully to help some of my math students to understand the concept better or even further than what they already, of course, perhaps got it in class. So the whole idea of compound shapes is this. Usually when you get a compound shape, as the term implies, compound means that you have more than one. Therefore, with a compound shape, you are expected to get more than one shape as one shape. However, the trick lies in how well you are able to decipher, how well you are able to break down the various compound shapes into a single shape, and then after, hopefully, break it down into or be able to calculate the areas and perimeters from there. So here we have our example of a compound shape question, and I'll try to see if we could do at least maybe 2 questions today. So in this one, we have a L looking sort of a shape, and the question will be asked of us to calculate the area and the perimeter. So what do we do? How do we do it? To calculate the area and perimeter of this shape here, practically we have to break it down. No, we're not break it, cut it up. Let's look at it like that. As to how we do that, it varies. So you could decide, if you wish, you could break it like this. That's one way. And if you do that, technically, it's as if you're creating this shape at the top, and then you're leaving the bottom like this. And the idea is that to find the area, you could find the area of this piece here, we could label it A, and then we could find the area of this piece here, we could label it B. That's one option. Another option is to break it down this way, or not break, cut, dissect. And when you do that, then you end up with a shape like this. So you end up with a piece like this. This is a possibility. And then you will be left with another little piece this way. Good. And once you understand that, you should have no problem whatsoever finding the area and perimeter. Well, for this, more so the area of this shape, because then it comes down to finding the area of A and then the area of B. And of course, you have to be able to know how to dissect your dimensions. So let's work with the first one I have here, for instance. Well, no, the second one is actually more straightforward. So breaking up what we have here, you'll notice that this side up here will be 4, and this side here would be 15. And from the little piece here that represents B, we will realize that this side here is given as 5, and this side here will be given as 9. So what's the area? Technically, we have 2 rectangles here. So the area for A, so let's say area of rectangle A, that will actually be equal to 4 times 15, which is length times width, right? Length times width. And if we multiply 4 by 15, that should give us what? 60? So 60 units squared. We don't have any particular unit of length here. So let's just say 60 units squared. And for B, so area of rectangle B, I should not have put B there, I should put A here. So area, that A there stands for area. So the area for rectangle B would be again length times width, which in this case is 5 times 9. And that of course will be equivalent or equal rather to 45. 45 units squared. And note now, what we just did, we found the areas of 2 separate pieces. So the compound shape, we split it into separate shapes, and we found the area of each one. So what would be the area of the entire shape? Naturally, we have to add area A and area B. Area A was 60 units squared, area B was 45 units squared. So what's the area of the entire shape? That would have been 105 units squared. Good. How did I get 105 units squared? I added 60 plus 45, and that gave me 105 units squared. And this is how we basically deal with compound shapes. Of course, we could be asked to find the perimeter also. How do we find the perimeter? To find the perimeter, all we need to know is the distance around the shape, right? So notice there are certain dimensions that we were given and some others that we were not. So we have, I usually like to tell my students, count how many sides and make sure you have the different sides that you're counting. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So we have a hexagon here. Let's see if we have 6 dimensions. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 dimensions that were given. We are missing this one here, and we are missing this one here. But mind you, we could work it out. We could do the maths. How do we find it? Easy. So for this one here, notice this is a total length. This is a total length across here. How do we get this total length here? Let's work with what we're given. We're given that the distance from here to here is 5. So we could say here to here is 5. And the distance from here to here is 4. If here is 4, that means down here would be 4 too. So that means if we put these two distances together, the entire distance across will add up to 9. Oh, and mind you, may I say that this shape is not drawn to scale? Evidently, because if here is 9 and here is 9 and this side look way longer than this, I mean, come on, that alone says something. So yes, so that's this side here equal 9. And if we look at the height now, the entire height is 15 units. We know the height from here to here, according to this other side here, is 9. And we know the height from below here to right on top here is 15. So how do we find this missing piece here? Simple. We take away this 9 from this 15 and we will get here to be 6. Because if here is 6 and here is 9 and we add the 2, we will get 15. Why we get 9 here? Because across here is 9. Understanding the properties of a rectangle, opposite sides, we could look at it that way, opposite sides are parallel and equal. So these two sides are parallel and equal in essence. And if here is 6, we could safely say that this side over here will also be 6. So do we have all 6 sides now? Yes. So let's examine what's the perimeter. So the perimeter, I'm starting from this side here and I'm adding the distance around the shape. So we have 4 plus 6 plus 5 plus 9 plus 9 again plus 15. Do I have 6 sides here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I do. So if I simply add all these sides, I will get my perimeter. Let's see how well I could put these numbers together. So 6 and 4, I get 10 here. So these two would give me 10. 5 and 15 here, I would get 20. So 10 plus 20 is 30. 30 plus 18, I should get 48 units. So that will be my perimeter, 48 units. And it's really and truly as simple as this that we could actually deal with compound shapes. What I will do, maybe I will do a series of videos in which in each one I will look at different compound shapes. So for this one, I hope that I break down the concept fair enough so that you could at least understand how we deal with compound shapes. And note, as I will always emphasize, there is no one way to approach this. Notice earlier, I showed you a possibility. Yes, I could have actually, allow me to erase this here. If I wanted, yes, you could have taken another approach, another angle. You could have done it this way. So you had this piece up here and you had this piece here. But notice, it doesn't matter how you do it, your answer will still be the same. So for your dimensions here, you would have had 4 here and 6 here, and your dimensions here, as illogical as it would be, it would have been 9 by 9. So yes, this was supposed to be a square, but it is what it is. So the area here would have been 24, and the area here would have been 81. And if you add 24 and 81, guess what? You'll still get an area, a total area or total surface area of 105 units squared. So it doesn't matter how you choose to do it. It all comes down to how well you could break down your shapes, 1, and 2, how well you could figure out the sides that are not explicitly given. But of course, there's always a way to work it out. So this will just be our first example. We will continue in our next video. Maybe we will do another compound shape. And in that shape, you will see, again, I will show you how we could break it down and how we could go about finding, go ahead of our way finding the area and the perimeter of such shape. So until then, you take care. As always, this is Everything Mathematics. If you haven't subscribed as yet, feel free to do so, like and share this video so that we can grow in our numbers. So until the next time, you take care.